The one that caught my eye, though, it's a stock that's in my crap stocks portfolio. It's gone. I've changed it back to calling it the Capital Incinerator portfolio, and that was Duolingo, which has topped the education sector the chart for this month again. It was its third best month ever. Even its other two apps have had 150,000 downloads. Duolingo is a fast-growing company. Looks a very interesting company to me. Very tempted to add it into my main portfolio as well, but I've just hung off for now. I just don't think that kind of company is we're in that kind of environment where we like the kind of Duolingos who are still burning cash and not really turning a profit. But an interesting company in an interesting sector. I've had a go. I'm currently learning Italian just to see what it was like. And I must admit, apart from the threatening emails you get like a threatening email and you get a threatening notification if you miss a day. So you're never gonna learn. But I'm trying. Do you know what I mean? But you just can't be asked to do it every day. But I am seeing the benefits, and I've learned quite a bit, to be honest.
I think Duolingo is good up to a point. Now I've learned a good amount of Norwegian through Duolingo, but basically what I eventually got to, right, it was really good at teaching sentence structure, but when it got to nouns, basically, which is the most important part of learning a language, unless you're like gifted like that guy who goes around speaking Chinese to Chinese people. You must have seen him on the internet somewhere. Unless you're gifted like him, you have to be immersed in the culture that you're learning the language of, because you're not going to learn nouns and simple communication methods outside. And Duolingo is great for, like I say, teaching sentence structure about new languages. I'm currently learning Greek on Duolingo, actually. And now you think about it, I don't know why I've never looked into it as an investment, considering how much I've used it in the past. But I do feel that my use of Duolingo has been very fleeting, as in I only come to it when I feel like I need to start learning a certain language. And in between that, it doesn't even get a look in. But and to be honest with you, like you say, you talk about the threatening emails that you get on Duolingo to bring you back into it. I don't think they work. They don't work as a nudge in the same way that being gifted loads of coins to improve your farm or whatever on Facebook gets you in. It's a shame. It's a shame it doesn't work in the same way, because that'd actually be a really good way to learn language.
They are trying that, though, aren't they? There is like an in-app currency now which you can spend to get like keep your streaks up, and they've added leaderboards, and I think they're really trying hard to sort of like
gamify,
turn it into turn it into a game, and it feels a bit. I mean, you must admit, when you get one of those 2 times experience boosts and you see yourself jumping up the table, you're like, somebody's heading to the top tonight. You know what I mean? I'm going to do 15 Italian lessons. Just you see Paolo B. I don't know. I mean, I must admit, I have enjoying using it, and I mean, my wife walked by the other day, and she was just sat there, and I was just sort of like building a sentence up in Italian. She sort of like watched me poking it in, and then obviously getting 100% on the lesson. She was like, "You do realise, like, just a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't speak a word of Italian, and now you're like ordering a cappuccino with sugar in a cafe and giving directions to the waiter to the nearest store and things like that." And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I appear to have learned something.
Yeah, there is something in that whole rinse and repeat method that they've got, which is really, really good. That gets it. I wonder. Here we go. Oh god, this is going to be horrible, because Twitter's been full of OpenAI this week, hasn't it? The AI chatbot. I wonder if you could make a good AI chatbot in a different language to help you learn a language much quicker. Is it called Chat CPT or something that's come out at the moment?
Chat GPT.
I have a point to come back to here for you actually in a second, but carry on.
Oh no, my next word was something like wanking over. So go ahead, Steve.
Cool. Couple of quick thoughts then in that case. Firstly, I didn't realise you guys spoke so many languages and learned them all through Duolingo. This is news to me. I tried using Duolingo a couple of years ago and I found it pretty poor. The main reason I found it fairly poor was because I was trying to sort of brush back up and maybe expand a bit on my French that I'd done back at school sort of several moons ago. And one of the things I thought it had me doing was giving me some French words and then a bunch of English words underneath to try and build the sentence out of. And there were a couple of problems with this. One was that there weren't really enough words to make it much of a challenge, so it was mostly just arranging the ones that I had in front of me into a sentence shape. And the other problem was that one of them had a capital letter, so that one obviously went at the beginning. And so once you got the first word in place, the rest of it just sort of follows, and I had no idea what I was translating. I was doing quite well at my wife's German one, actually, and I don't speak any German at all. I was getting German stuff right just by kind of working it out from the English.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit wary of Duolingo back then.
It definitely gets progressively harder. Sometimes it'll throw you. Now, I think there's a lot of different ways now. Sometimes it throws you in the middle of a conversation and you hear some conversation in Italian and then it'll say, what did she ask Marco or something like that, and you have to try and pick out the area that the thing that you heard, which is a lot better than I can imagine what you probably dealt with. But I've noticed it's getting progressively harder as well. So perhaps you just got stuck in the baby steps kind of thing. You now even like if you're 100% a couple of lessons in a row, it says don't even bother with this one. You're an expert. Get yourself onto the next level, and then it like boots up, and you're like, I don't know any of those words. I'm in serious trouble.
Yeah, it does. I think, Steve, what you've been caught in there is some vague form of Pavlovian conditioning that it's trying to put you through, and it's constant. It's constant rinse and repeat until you eventually these words start going in. And there is that in the baby steps part of it that makes it very easy for you to complete some of the lessons, but it's not what it's trying to do. I don't think it's trying to get you to complete these lessons and makes you think, or it doesn't think that you're learning the language by doing this. But what it's trying to do is put you in front of the sentence structure and the words, and it's just getting you used to seeing the words constantly.
Yeah, and giving you some early success as well, which obviously motivates you, doesn't it? So
that's the other thing, is easy low hanging fruit success.